Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I had to stop in the middle of deep conditioning, so if you notice that my hair is wet, I know, okay? I know, don't say nothing. But I had to come tell y'all because I feel like we haven't seen something like this in a good little minute, and the streets are chatting. If you want to know what I'm talking about, let's go. Okay, y'all, so if you have not heard, Elf Cosmetics, Elf Beauty, the company that we all know and love as Elf, has purchased Rhode Beauty for $1 billion. So I'm scrolling when I see that, and my first reaction was, oh, okay. I didn't see that coming. And I feel like my reaction was more of a like shock type of thing, right? Now, when it comes to the other reactions I'm seeing on the internet, y'all really hate that girl. If you guys don't know, maybe you don't remember, because I did speak about Rhode Beauty a couple months ago, which ironic that all of this has happened in such a short amount of time since that video. But excuse me. Rhode Beauty is the beauty brand that was founded by Hailey Bieber. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, just saying Hailey Bieber, maybe mentioning the fact that she is Justin Bieber's wife will kind of jog your memory there of who I am talking about. She is really disliked. Like, I knew she was disliked, but like, especially after this, I'm seeing just how much she is really disliked. And mind you, Elf bought Rhode because it is a very fast growing brand. I want to say she probably launched like what, 2023, 24, 1 second. Rhode Beauty launched June 15th, 2022. So it's not even a full 3 years that this brand has existed, but it is very fast growing. It became a very popular brand. Most of their launches ended up selling out. And when I have mentioned it in the past, I've mentioned that it became one of those brands where it had the type of following that like a Fenty Beauty, Kylie Cosmetics. I would say it's more of like the present day Kylie Cosmetics with the popularity that that brand has. I mentioned over the holiday season, people were upset because they weren't receiving the same type of packaging for the holiday season that like influencers were getting. So when you get there, when you get to people want just the packaging that your brand has coming out, you're one of those type of mainstream, the trendy, the popular brands that is kind of like a, at some point, it's almost as if people want it simply because it seems like the brand you're supposed to have if you are a beauty enthusiast, right? So Elf purchased a very fast-paced, very fast in popularity brand. And you would think, okay, that makes sense, right? Because they're showing that people like it. There is interest there. So why is everybody so upset? Off jump, being a woman in a relationship with a man who is famous and a majority of his fan base is women, you are already going to be very disliked, right? You think about the men in those positions when you are a, I don't know, a Chris Brown, when you're an Usher, when you're a Lil Baby, when you're a whoever it is, look at how the women that those men date publicly are treated, right? You're on very thin ice because we know how parasocial relationships work. And in their mind, you're taking their man. Is it delusional? Yes. But just off of that, you're going to be disliked, right? You are dating a man who was a teenage heartthrob. That's a whole different level in and of itself. Now, dating him while he is at the peak of his fan base being teenagers, scary. And y'all know Justin Bieber's been around for a good minute. So all those teenagers have grown with Justin, right? And then you go ahead and add on the present day teenagers that are also obsessed with Justin Bieber. Like the fact that the man that you are attached to is a teenage heartthrob, child, you breathe wrong, they was gonna meet you outside, okay? So that's one thing to dislike her. Two, it's even worse when the teenage heartthrob that you end up marrying has an ex-girlfriend who is also a mega celebrity. Okay, look at Karrueche. In this case, we're talking about Selena Gomez. And especially in like recent years, it's been very like back and forth with social media trying to figure out which one are they upset at. 1 second, it's she's antagonizing Selena. The next, it's Selena's antagonizing her. They keep going back and forth. She's bitter, she's jealous, she's jealous. But fans always make stuff like that worse, right? But earlier this year when I made that video talking about Rhode, people had started making like documentary type content where they dug deep, and again, going back to being a teenager, her being a teenager, him being a teenager, and basically suggesting, gotta use careful words here, suggesting the route that she went through to actually become Justin Bieber's wife. And also, you know, kind of alleging that at some point her obsession left Justin and became Selena. So when you are now also in a kind of like beef, whether it's one-sided or both of you are acknowledging that there's beef, and that person is a mega celebrity who has that type of mega fan base, if your fan base has a name for it, you probably don't want to mess with that person, right? Beehive, Barb's, Navy, Beliebers, Lambs from Mariah Carey. I don't remember what Selena Gomez's fan base is called. It's something. What is it? And then if all of that wasn't bad enough, Hailey Bieber has a past of anti-black and or just straight up racist social media posts. And yeah, as you could imagine, a past of racism isn't going to look good for you. So those are some of the main reasons that lady is very disliked. And it's like, I knew she was disliked, but especially after seeing everything, after this announcement came out that e.l.f. is purchasing them, I am fully understanding just how much she's disliked. The $1 billion deal is comprised of $800 million of consideration payable at closing in a combination of cash and stock, subject to customary adjustments, and an additional potential earn-out consideration of $200 million based on the future growth of the brand over a 3-year time frame. Elf Beauty found a like-minded disruptor in Rhode, said Elf chairman and CEO Tarang Amin. Rhode further diversifies our portfolio with a fast-growing brand that makes the best of prestige accessible. We are excited by Rhode's ability to break beauty barriers, fully aligning with Elf Beauty's vision to create a different kind of company. Rhode is a beautiful brand that we believe is ready for rocket ship growth. Rhode has quickly established itself as a disruptor in content, commerce, and community, building a robust... notification threw me off, sorry. Building a robust direct-to-consumer business, the brand has seen incredible growth, more than doubling its consumer base over the past year and driving a total of $112 million in net sales in the 12 months ended March 31st, 2025. Rhode's products are currently available on rhodeskin.com, with plans to launch its first physical in-store partnership with retailer Sephora through North America and the UK before the end of the year. Bieber will continue her role as founder and additionally serve as Rhode's chief creative officer and head of innovation, overseeing creative, product innovation, and marketing. She will also act as a strategic advisor to the combined companies. A defining voice in beauty, Bieber stands out as a cultural tastemaker and a top beauty influencer. Her influence, paired with brand's innovative marketing strategy and team, fueled Rhode to be the #1 skincare brand in England media value in 2024, representing 367% year-over-year EMV growth. So after hearing all of that, you would be like, well, take Hailey out of the situation and thinking just Rhode Beauty. You would think, well, that makes sense for e.l.f. to do that, right? Like, for a brand that hasn't been in business for a full 3 years yet to accomplish all of that, that is very big. But then once you put Hailey back in there, one of the main critiques I've noticed about this purchase is about a week ago. I do remember specifically seeing the post on Instagram. e.l.f. made a post where they announced that because of tariffs and, you know, inflation and everything going on like that, they will be increasing the price of some of their products or maybe all of their products. And, you know, of course, people were not happy about that. And that's why I always mention in conversations like this, when people start saying things to people like, oh, you should have started your business out as something more affordable. And then when you prove that you're going to be a good company that people can rely on, then you can raise your prices. I always mention that's not how it works, and that almost never works, because that's not, you have to pick a target audience. When you start your company, you have to pick the target price for your brand. You know, are you going to be a affordable brand, a luxury brand, you know, a mid-range brand with your prices? You can't get people used to your brand being this way, and then just because you grow in popularity, you grow in sales, now you've proven yourself, right? So now you can completely change what made you popular to begin with. If you guys remember, years ago, ColourPop tried to raise their prices like 25 cents and people were like, boycott ColourPop. So it never really works like that. But baby, inflation, as time goes on, you just start to naturally see things rise in price. So when Elf announced that, of course, people were not happy, but we all know, especially right now, with inflation, tariffs, stuff like that, you can just expect that everything is going to start rising in price. However, people already didn't like that they announced that they would be raising their prices. And Elf is a brand, yeah, and mind you, the price increase has been gradual for Elf throughout the years, but Elf is very much a brand. Like, you could get things in the past for like a dollar, $3. Now they've got some things as much as 15. Is that still more reasonable compared to some of the mid-range luxury brands and products that are popular nowadays? Yes. But again, when you get people comfortable to a certain price range and you increase from that, it can be a turnoff for some people. So now that they have come out and they've announced that they are purchasing Rhode for $1 billion, people are like, so is it tariffs? Or is this to offset the fact that you just spent $1 billion purchasing a company, right? I've seen a bunch of people saying like Elf even has $1 billion to purchase Rhode Beauty. If the reason for the price increase is really because of Rhode Beauty, you could have kept that, and kept that as in you could have not purchased them and continued giving us the Elf cosmetics that we know and love. And I don't know if you guys remember Keys Soul Care, the brand started by Alicia Keys. I don't know if you remember or if you just didn't know, but they are also owned by Elf Cosmetics. Well, around the time that Elf made that post, Keys Soul Care also made a post where they said rising global costs and tariffs have had a big impact. While we're absorbing the majority of these costs, the price of many of our offerings will increase by $2 starting August 1st. So that is another brand owned by Elf Beauty that is increasing their prices. And you want to be transparent with your customers on things like price increases, if you ever rebrand a product, stuff like that. However, a lot of the times you're having this conversation with people like they don't care about all that. They don't care about the idea of tariffs and inflation. And even if the price increase really is, because they are making up for the cost of purchasing $1 billion, making $1 billion purchase, you're talking to people who either don't fully get that or don't fully care about that. It's going to be a turnoff. And when the person you're doing it with is someone who is already very disliked, people don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to hear none of that. They don't want to hear any type of explanation and whatnot. And people did mention like, babes, if you're making $1 billion purchase, that isn't something that you just do in like a month, 2 months, right? We know all of this tariff talk and whatnot has been within the last couple months of 2025. So this is probably something that Elf presented to Rhode, or like a conversation that's been in talks for a good minute before, finalizing the sale and whatnot. But again, when people are annoyed, when people are upset, when people don't like someone in the situation, they don't really care about any of that type of reasoning. They just don't like it. Also, when you got past racism in a situation like this, another gripe, if you want to call it that, or critique that people have with this purchase is, why not the Black-owned brands? And if not the Black-owned brands, why not the other minority owned brands getting these type of opportunities? Why is it people who some people deem to be awful that get these type of opportunities? Like, imagine if you invested into the Danessa Myricks brands, the Range Beauties, the insert brand here. Imagine how those brands could evolve if they got the same type of backing from companies like Elf Beauty, like L'Oreal. L'Oreal owns a whole bunch of makeup brands. So that is another conversation that I see going around. And then, I start seeing some of the other ones where it's just like, okay, now we're just chatting. Like I think Selena Gomez is a billionaire, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, she just wanted to be like Selena. Even if that were true, just because you want to be like someone else doesn't mean you get to wake up and you get to also be a billionaire as well. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean she's just doing this because she wanted to be like Selena? I think you too would take the chance to accept $1 billion offer if you had it. wouldn't you? But like the only positivity that I've seen over this purchase is in her comment section. You know, I always be clear about the comments and whatnot. That was the only place that I saw any type of like positivity. But like makeup forums, you know, like a trend moods page, what's new in makeup type pages, beauty content creators, like those comment sections, baby, whipping her every way but loose in those comment sections. However, Rhode is a popular beauty brand, so I would assume that there's quite a bit of people out there who are excited about this. While I definitely didn't see it coming, do I think good things could happen for the two companies off this? I do, because like I said, it is a brand that has a name where they've been around. Elf is one of those staple brands at this point. They've got the name, they've got the money, and Rhode right now has the popularity. They've got the eyes on them, so you know, put them together. As I mentioned in what I was reading, they are coming to Sephora. That's another thing. When brands are more accessible, as in like you don't have to go directly to the brand's website, it'll give people reason to want to try you more. You know, instead of having to go to Rhode's website, you're walking down Sephora and you see it on the shelf. You're like, oh, I saw a TikTok about that. Let me check that out. I don't know what's gonna happen as far as like, will it be in Ulta at some point? Who knows? But it will be in Sephora later on this year. So at least from everything, what it looks like, it's a good move for the two brands, and the two brands will be making money, good money, moving on in the future. The only way I could see it being a bad decision for Elf is, that's the thing, when a majority of the hype around your brand and a majority of your brand's name being out there is because of who it's owned by, and you know, people either really liking them or really disliking them. All it takes is like that one little thing that person does, and now everyone's talking about cancel the brand, boycott the brand. And when it's someone who people are already trying to do that, people are already really disliking the face of the brand, that's the only way I could see it getting a little tricky. Because, you know, think of like Kat Von D and Kat Von D Beauty and how that situation went. They did like rebrand and kind of build themselves up again, but I haven't really heard much about them in like the last year or so. Kylie Cosmetics, when Kylie's name was really out there and everyone wanted to be Kylie, you saw the height of Kylie Cosmetics, right? Okay, well, when people kind of started not talking about that family as much, started disliking that family, you see how like Kylie Cosmetics was never the same. They're still around. I still see people, you know, doing like reviews and whatnot. It'll never be what it was back then. That's the only way I could see this going like downhill for them, is like the social media really gets on that ass and they really say, okay, that's a wrap on Miss Ma'am. However, one thing I have noticed that I've seen since all of this has gone is people saying, okay, well, you're a billionaire now. You can go ahead and leave, Justin. Go ahead and get that divorce. That man doesn't like you. And I feel like some of that is due to, you know, people who just don't like her. And I feel like some of that is due to people who are being very serious and saying like, that man doesn't like you. And he shows it every day. Go ahead and take that money, be a billionaire, go about your business. So I could also see a kind of like rebrand if that were to ever happen. I'm not speaking divorce on anyone's marriage. However, if anything like that were to happen, I could see where there could be a rebrand for her and she's actually even more liked than she is right now. Because like I said, social media's perception of you can change just like that. And if there are already people saying he's treating you badly, like he doesn't like you, go ahead and live your best life, I could see that working in her favor if it were to ever happen. Not saying that I wanted to. All right, y'all, so that is it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this purchase. Definitely did not see that coming. Interested to see how this goes. Do you think it'll affect any of the other brands that Elf has? I have some people saying, is Elf Beauty going to be the new L'Oreal, where Elf is going to end up owning a majority of your favorite makeup brands? Let me know all that in the comments down below. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Still wet.